India and China have finally decided to smoke the peace pipe and agreed on a 5 point peace plan. It's a plan of action. But three things must be said upfront. One, it is the victory of the Indian Army. Because of the Indian Army occupying heights, strategic heights, vantage point heights, tactically advantageous heights that the Chinese have come down under. That is one. Number two, it shows, it re-establishes, it re-demonstrates the power and the efficacy of diplomacy, where every other means fail. Diplomacy is always a work in progress and it finally delivers. Point number three, that China has finally realized, looks like, after this 5 point plan, that the region where they are encroaching, Ladakh, the world's highest cold desert, is not only impossible to retain but also impossible to defend, particularly when winters are fast approaching, where the weather will be the most fatal enemy, not guns and tanks. Let me elaborate these points. I am Rajeev Sharma. Do stay till the end of this short video, and I'm sure that particularly those who are UPSC and civil services aspirants, they will benefit out of it. This 5 point plan, first of all, let us talk about this 5 point plan. Let me give you a brief rundown about these 5 point plan in very basic and simple language. I will not read out the 5 point plan mentioned in the joint statement arrived at after the talks between the two foreign ministers in Moscow, that is Indian Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar and Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi. Point number one talks about that India and China should not allow differences to become disputes. That is important. Point number two, it says that troops should continue dialogue, quickly disengage, maintain proper distance, and ease tension. Now, this is about basically talking about the SOP, the standard operating procedure, how the two sides envisage. Point number three, it says respect all agreements, abide by all existing agreements and protocol on boundary dispute, and avoid any action that could escalate matters. Well, China itself is not abiding by this point. I will explain, but let me complete a brief rundown about the 5 points. Point number four, it says, it talks about the WMCC, that is the Working Mechanism for Consultation and Coordination between India and China, and about the SR level talks, Special Representative level talks. The two special representatives are India's NSA, National Security Advisor, Ajit Doval, and his Chinese counterpart is Wang Yi. So, point number four emphasizes these two mechanisms, the importance of these two mechanisms, that is the SR level talks and WMCC mechanism. Point number five and last, it talks about a futuristic mode. That is, it says expedite work to conclude new CBMs, that is confidence building measures, to maintain peace and tranquility. Peace and tranquility along the line of actual control. Now, while that is all seems all hunky-dory, all sugar and honey, but it is easier said than done. We have seen the two sides, it gives a deja vu feeling. Been there, done that before. Not to forget that before the two foreign ministers met, the two defense ministers also met 6 days before this foreign minister level meeting. And after the defense ministers meeting, well, incidents did take place. So, this 5-point plan thrashed out between the two foreign ministers in Moscow on the sidelines of Shanghai Cooperation Organization SCO meet, ministerial level meet. This 5-point plan is no insurance against future trouble or in near future. Because Chinese media continues to spew venom, particularly Global Times. Global Times is really hawkish. Global Times says that the ball is in the court of India. Why India? When it's a dispute, when two sides are involved, when a quarrel takes place, both are equally to be blamed. You cannot say that one person is completely innocent. No. So, why the ball should be viewed as being in India's court only? And Global Times says, if India wants war, we will oblige. Who are you to oblige? Your media remain media. Now, this thing has to be conveyed to China to restrain your media. But then, when their media goes hawkish, our media in equal measure gives tit for tat. So, not to vitiate this atmosphere, it is important that the two sides restrain their respective media outfits. It is highly important. Because if the two countries' media, they continue to spew venom at the other side, then the road to success will be very far. Now, also, it is only because, as I said at the outset, China has, well, it is a positive development, no doubt. And also, physical meetings, it shows, this entire episode shows that the physical meetings are far more important than virtual meetings. If a thaw has been arrived at, it is only because of these two physical meetings, first at the defense minister level, then at the foreign minister level. And of course, if this thing holds good, if peace holds good, the profile of Dr. S. Jaishankar will go further up. No doubt about that. And NSA Ajit Doval, his profile is steady. He has had over 2 hour long virtual meeting with his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi. So he has been doing his bit. So, friends, before I conclude this video editorial, let me say that China wants disengagement followed by de-escalation. But what is disengagement? Disengagement is that pull out your troops, pull out your ammunition, pull out your equipment. That's what China wants. But it will have to be carefully calibrated and monitored by India. We are at an advantageous position. So, and pull out of troops will be easier and faster with China because they are on lower heights. So let us first await their pullout, and we must not settle for anything less than a status quo ante. That is, whatever the status of line of actual control was prevailing on the 4th and 5th of May night when the Chinese intruded 8 kilometers inside. That status should be restored. Last point, China must be thinking that China has in fact said that disengagement and de-escalation is all right, but border dispute resolution is not prerequisite for development of bilateral ties. Wrong. This is no longer, this used to be the Indian template for decades with China. It no longer is, it no longer will be. Now, the border dispute must be on the front burner. And last point, the Indian mantra must be, while dealing with Chinese, distrust and verify. Thank you folks for watching me. Do subscribe to my channel Rajeev Kishkindha.